Thanks for your support as a channel member, Richard Blythe. I'm not going to panic that things might be starting to go a little bit wrong, but today we've got to come from behind to get through the Champions League first round, knockout round thing against Wolfsburg, and we've been knocked out of the Copa del Rey. Hello and welcome to Club 6, Part 8 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the second leg of the Champions League first knockout round at home against Wolfsburg, and we're also away against Real in La Liga. Since you were last with me, we lost to Real Madrid and got knocked out of the Copa del Rey, which means we won't be able to do a glorious treble, quadruple, if you count the other thing that we won, the Super Copa. It does also mean that Laszlo Banfalvi... Oh, actually, Banfalvi wasn't in the team again. In my head, he was in the team. In reality, he wasn't. Still not lost a domestic football match. Yes. I want that record to last forever. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So, the Wolfsburg game. This is the team we're putting out there for it. Banfalvi is back for this. But we are without the unregistered De Jong, which means once again we've pretty much maxed out the bench, and there is nothing else left in the squad other than a second goalkeeper. Paper thin squad here at Barcelona. It's something that definitely needs fixing in the summer, and hopefully it's not going to cost us today against Wolfsburg. So we've got Bajic in goal, a back four of Messias, Paredes, Banfalvi, and Berisic. Why have I got Powell's at the base of the midfield? Past Kev, what are you thinking there? Vermonti at the base of the midfield. I mean, Powell's is lovely, but this is a massively important game. We play Vermonti at the base of the midfield. Powell's can come and play another day. He's good. Maybe next year. Who knows? But not today. Hendricks and Gila ahead of him. Mbappe, Pozibon and Leonard as our front three. I just need to double. There is nothing wrong with Vermonti. I don't know what Past Kev's logic was. Past Kev, if you're listening and you want to let me know down in the comments what the thought process was there, I'm all ears, but I am overruling you. That's a strange tactic that Wolfsburg are playing. Porras playing up front this time, having played out in the left wing in the first leg, and Adema, who's a natural defensive midfielder, playing in central midfield. I'd like to think that means we're going to beat them. They're obviously coming in very defensively. Let's assertively get assertive. We want assertively assertive. We want revenge. Wolfsburg are just coming here to not concede, playing a flat forward, defensive midfield, a midfielder in there who's basically a second defensive midfielder. We don't know about the other ones, but they don't want to concede, which I can understand. Their best chance of getting through to the next round. We've just given away a penalty. They're going to grab an away goal 14 minutes in. This is absolutely not following the script for this season. I said in the intro, I'm not going to say things are starting to go wrong. But if we're knocked out in the first knockout round of the Champions League, having also been knocked out of the Copa del Rey, we're only 6 points clear at the top of the league. We could bottle that yet. This is troublesome. Bajic in goal needs to inspire us. Doesn't, because they're going to miss. That's a season-changing moment. The wheels were falling off, but now, Mbappe's done his hamstring. My word. We'll have a look at him after this highlight. Pozibon, Berisic now, trying to get past his man and get a cross in. He gets past his man. Can he get the cross in? He's trying to do what Ryzen normally does on that right-hand side, and did a very good job of it. Right, Mbappe's not even got an injury next to him. How is that a hamstring injury? I don't understand. Is the message wrong? Or is the injury not syncing with that screen yet? Or is it just a slight injury, so it doesn't show up as an injury? If it's just a slight one, I'd rather have Mbappe on the pitch, even if it is risking him for whenever the next game might be. Priority number one today is to make sure, at least Champions League-wise, there is a next game. They're doing a very good job of keeping the ball away from us here. Leonard very nearly closing down the keeper and causing problems. But Wolfsburg look like they've definitely come in with a game plan. They're sticking men behind the ball. Oh, very close. Oh, my word. They're sticking men behind the ball. They're keeping possession. And they're trying to tire us out and frustrate us. And if they carry on doing silly things like that, it's going to cost them. Mbappe with the free kick, can't quite find a Barcelona shirt, but there's Gila picking up the scraps. Mbappe crosses again, looking for Posibon, can't quite find him. Hendricks is there though. Paredes now, I don't know what he's doing out on the right wing, but he plays it back to Banfalvi. Vermonti now to Gila. He's got Mbappe on the overlap. That's a nice place to have Kylian Mbappe. He couldn't get it in at the first opportunity. Words, Kev, words! At the second chance, though, he does tuck it under the keeper, which puts us 1-0 up on the night, 3-3 on aggregate, with an away goals advantage. And if I was Wolfsburg's manager now, I would be panicking, because the game plan they've clearly came here to look for a 0-0, and that game plan is now on the ropes because we're ahead in the tie. And how much longer can they sit and soak up pressure and frustrate and just keep the ball? Because they now need a goal. And the question is, when do they go for it? And when they do, they're going to leave gaps behind them like this one, and we're going to exploit them. We didn't exploit them that time. Leonard shooting wide from a very good opportunity. The Wolfsburg players are largely overwhelmed now as well, which is exactly the right level of whelmed that we want to see from them. But this is disastrous. My word, Messias faffed about with that for a while and got away with it. And now we've got the counter-attack on. My heart can't take this. Leonard's up the other end of the pitch. Can he tuck it away? He can't. He hits the post. But we have got away with it a little bit there. That was some insanely poor defending that somehow didn't lead to a goal. Berisic now on the right-hand side goes past his man again, but then lets him get back in his way. Can't find Vermonti, and Vermonti is chasing back to tidy things up with Banfalvi. Berisic looking again to get past this player, but can't once again. Messias now, fresh off the back of his weird little defensive performance, tries to work the ball through. It ends up with Gila. He's got Messias on the overlap, but he's just going to go it alone. This is sensational from Gila, but he couldn't quite tuck it under the goalkeeper. Lovely little mazy dribble, though, to get himself into that position. And we go in at half-time, 1-0 up on the night. It's 3-3 on aggregate. We are ahead in the tie, but my word, is it tight. Guard against... I don't even know if that's the right team talk, because I don't want to guard against complacency. I want to go and get a second goal. Going into the 80th minute, only 1-0 up and ahead on away goals will be horrific. Banfalvi's now picked up an injury, and that could be huge. That would be a major, major problem for us in all competitions that we're left in. Gila plays it back to Vermonti. Vermonti finds Messias in space. He's got Mbappe ahead of him, but he's gone for the deep cross to find Posibon, who gets the shot away, but it goes over. It was an awkward angle. It was a difficult shot. We need to take Banfalvi off, I think. We've got Gillane on the bench. We cannot risk Banfalvi. He's so important to us, so he's going to come off. We are keeping an eye on Mbappe as well, but he's not showing any signs of this injury that he supposedly got. And now Wolfsburg have picked up a knock of their own. Posibon has had a poor game. We've got Hudson-Odoi on the bench who can come on. It allows us to put Mbappe over to the other side. And I really, really want a goal, a second goal, because otherwise I feel like there's an equaliser coming, which, of course, an equaliser in the match puts them ahead in the tie, and that will never do. Hendricks is also having a really poor game. We're going to bring Barrow on for him. And now we're going to have 10 minutes of passion to finish things off. We've got a corner. It's Mbappe. Corner. Floats in. Paredes is there. And how many times have we seen him do this season? What an important signing he's turned out to be for us. This summer just gone. A 9th goal of the season for Paredes. Him and Banfalvi at the back have been fantastic all season long. And this man is such a threat from set pieces. And that puts us 2-0 up on the night. 4-3 on aggregate. Hudson-Odoi with the free kick, and Gillane now hits the crossbar. A third here, and we can just pack up and go home now. But even with the 2-0 advantage tonight, Wolfsburg have to score twice to get back into this tie. And the way they're set up, how defensively they've played, they've not had a shot on target. 2 goals from them looks very, very unlikely. And I think we have just got the job done. But goodness me, did we make more of a meal of that than we needed to? And I don't know. I don't know that we've got a Champions League win in us this year, because we found that very, very difficult. Rangers getting 2 players sent off as part of their defeat to PSG. So PSG and Alex Catamol through to the next round as well. Let's have a look. Oh, what's wrong with Banfalvi? Only a couple of days. That's good. We can handle that. Are Tottenham through as well? Tottenham are through. Bayern are through. PSG, the next stop on the adventure, are through. And we're through. There's going to be some potentially interesting ties set up in this next round. But first, we have a league game to play. Would you believe me if I told you I was a buffoon who didn't read the screen properly, and when we looked at it before, only 2 matches had been played, and the rest are next week? Tottenham actually getting themselves knocked out, and Bayern and Real Madrid and everybody else, those games haven't even been played yet. So we have no idea. We'll find out next episode who we've got. But before that, we do get back to the important business of a La Liga game. Real Madrid won their game 4-0 last night, so the league table is looking like this. We're still 3 points clear with a game in hand. We really want the win. We want to keep putting that pressure on Real Madrid, keep that 6-point gap in place. We've made a couple of changes to the team. Banfalvi is fit to play, and if he's fit to play, of course, he plays. Krajju comes in at right back. Powells does get his start in the place of Vermonti that Pastkev wanted to give him in the last game. He can have it in this game instead. And Hudson-Odoi comes in for Mbappe, who, although still not showing as injured, was discussed as being potentially a little bit injured in that last game. So it doesn't hurt just to rest him. At 34 years old, we're playing a lot of football if we're going to stay in this Champions League, deep into it. And we do need to protect Mbappe to make sure that we've got probably our best player fully fit when we need him. Right, I fully expect you to keep our run going and win this game. All eyes on Powells, who, I mean, imagine if a teenager manages to force Vermonti out of the team on a long-term basis, because this lad is good, but Vermonti, I've said repeatedly, is my favourite player of the save. Arguably one of my favourite ever Football Manager players that I've come across. Vermonti is superb, but you've met me before. Vermonti is 29. Powells is 19. I find it very difficult to favour the 29-year-old over a 19-year-old who's already showing us almost as good and has all of the potential that Powells has. Here he is on the ball now. If he can just start spraying it around the way Vermonti does, that's going to be a difficult decision for me to make over the summer. Gila now sprays it over to Posibon, looking to do a Vermonti himself. Leonard, 2 attempts at it, can't force it past the goalkeeper. And Leonard, he's a frustration because he scores so many goals, but then something like that happens. I don't know, why didn't he score that one? Hey, Paredes from a set piece again. Leonard hits the post, and we still don't go ahead in the game. We're not going to worry yet. There's plenty of time. We could always bring Vermonti on. Powells is apprehensive and on a yellow card. He can hear me talking about him. He knows he's being judged today. Rightly so. He's got a very tough task ahead of him, forcing Vermonti out this side. Gila with the in-swinging free kick. And Posibon with an absolute sitter, a free header. And he just absolutely fluffed his lines. Hudson-Odoi with the corner. Can't find a Barcelona shirt. Hendricks is going to pick up the loose ball. Plays it back to Krajju. And it goes all the way back to Bajic in goal. And I don't know why we're seeing this as a highlight unless something weird is about to happen. Banfalvi plays it forward to Posibon, who's got Krajju on the overlap, but goes infield to Powells instead. Gila looking up. Is he going to dribble? He's not. He's going to try and play it out to Posibon, who doesn't get there. But it does eventually get hold of the ball. Krajju is in so much space on this far side. He must be screaming for the football, but quite rightly, no one's going to give it to him because Gila's just scored a worldie. A 9th goal of the season for him, for a player who's been playing out of position all year. He's got some natural ability, hasn't he? This is impressive stuff. It does make me wonder if the long-term future of Barcelona might be a diamond. Posibon's our only winger who's under the age of 33. Hudson-Odoi and Mbappe, both old men. Obviously, Mbappe can and arguably should play up front. We've got Correa, who could play up front with Leonard as well. Gila, who wants to be in behind the strikers and is showing lots of ability as a creative force, playing a little bit deeper. Imagine the damage he could do in behind the strikers. And then we've got the 2 very good defensive midfielders in Vermonti and Powells. So there's an argument. There's an argument for a diamond. We should probably at least look to train one in the summer. Are we having a penalty here? We've gone over to the little telly. It looked well out of the area to me. I'm surprised we've even got as far as the little telly. Yeah, there you go, no penalty. It didn't even look like one. I wouldn't have even appealed for that if I was one of the players. Just like, yeah, he's like 3 yards out of the area. Why are we appealing for a penalty? Look where he's standing even. He's not even stood in the area. And it's a yellow card for the defender, which is fair. It was a clumsy tackle. I don't think it was that close to the penalty area, though. Hudson-Odoi in swinging free kick, and once again can't find a Barcelona player. Kryju played it forward, but obviously not well enough to justify a highlight. Team talk-wise, we'll do complacency. We won't do complacency. We'll ask them not to do complacency. Oh, I hope they ain't listening. The opposite of what I said. Let's not do complacency. Posibon doesn't know whether he's coming or going now. He's apprehensive. He's been asked to be complacent and not be complacent, all in the same sentence, and he doesn't know what's happening. Powell's I am going to take off shortly for Vermonti, just really to protect him. He's on a yellow card. He's not having a fantastic game. To be fair to him, nobody is, but the last thing I want to do is set him up to fail by inviting him to go and get a yellow card and get himself sent off. We'll take off Hudson-Odoi as well, who's not having the best of games. Oh, why have I swapped those over? We play Mbappe on the left when we do that, don't we? And we're going to ask for some creativity. This is the second game in a row, the second game in this episode, where goals have been a little bit harder to come by than they typically have been this season. The encouraging thing, as long as we don't mess it up from here, is that even though we're not playing really, really well at the moment, we are continuing to grind out results, which is the mark of a good team. But I'd quite like us to get really, really good again. That guy's getting sent off now. He's the one who gave away the penalty that wasn't in the first half and got a yellow card for that. Now he's got a yellow card again. It looked like he punched the referee after that. Mbappe with the free kick, and it doesn't end up in the back of the net. I was convinced, foregone conclusion, that goes in. Leonard's going to come off for Correa. If we're struggling for goals, why not change the striker and see if that makes a difference for us? And that corner didn't even justify a highlight. Posibon plays it back to Vermonti. Gila now plays it back to Vermonti again. Posibon back to Vermonti one more time. Vermonti's just looking for the right pass to pick out. They all just give it back to him. They know he's the man to give it to. And Mbappe's shooting just wide. There's an argument for a free kick on the edge of the area there, but clearly not a very convincing argument because it wasn't given. Mbappe now, corner from the far side. Gila with the header and it goes over. We have had some chances today and we have been very wasteful in front of goal. Mbappe with another free kick finds Paredes, and even our most deadly set-piece specialist is heading over from those kind of positions. We have got away with it a little bit today. We pick up the 1-0 win. It was far from convincing against 10 men that we should have battered. And we'll let the players know that. But the important thing is we maintain the 6-point gap at the top of the league. So La Liga is looking good. And now we just need to focus on the champion. We've won 12 straight games. And I'm talking about goals being hard to come by. I mean, that's some solid form if ever I saw it. La Liga's looking good. How many games left have we got? There's 7 games left. It's going to be tough for us to mess that up. The focus really now becomes on the Champions League. And we don't know who we've got in the next round. But whoever it is, you'll see them in tomorrow's episode. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.